Chosen one. You did not arrive here by curiosity or coincidence. Heaven has drawn you into this moment with precision, intention, and divine timing. Long before you pressed play, your spirit was marked for an awakening, because what you're about to hear is more than knowledge. It is a prophetic unlocking, a supernatural summons into the realm of silent wealth, sacred wisdom, and heaven-orchestrated elevation. Anointed one. You are standing at the threshold of a breakthrough that has been forming in the invisible. The pressure you felt, the stretching, the quiet restlessness, these were not signs of delay, but signs of emergence. For surely, as written in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7, wisdom is the principal thing, and whoever grasps it walks into realms others only dream of. Today, the ancient mantle of Solomon is reaching for you. His 7 hidden secrets, the same principles that built empires, attracted kings, and opened vaults of divine wealth, are being revealed again, not to the world, but to the chosen. This is a holy moment, a spiritual invitation. So open your heart, still your spirit, because as these secrets unfold, something in your life is about to shift quietly, powerfully, and forever. Chosen one. Before you move any further on this journey, I need you to understand something deep in your spirit. Heaven did not lead you here casually. When Solomon spoke of wisdom as the principal thing, he was not talking about earthly intelligence or human cleverness. He was pointing toward a divine frequency, a spiritual intelligence that only those who are called, those who are marked, those who are chosen, can truly discern. And you, anointed one, are standing in that sacred place right now. Wisdom is not simply knowledge, it is alignment. It is timing. It is the whisper of God guiding your steps before you even know where your feet are landing. I learned this myself in moments when life felt unclear, when I was striving, pushing, working with all my strength, yet nothing seemed to move. It was only when I stopped chasing the outcome and started seeking the understanding behind each step that things shifted. That shift wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic. It felt like a quiet unlocking inside my chest, a realization that every poor decision I had made wasn't rooted in lack of opportunity, but lack of wisdom. You may feel that too, chosen one, the sting of past decisions, the weight of choices made in confusion, the pressure of outcomes that could have been different. But you're not condemned by your past. You're being awakened by it. Solomon teaches us that wisdom builds the foundation for every form of prosperity. Silent wealth begins in moments of reflection, in the honest questions we ask ourselves when no one is watching. What have I been ignoring? What truth have I avoided? What cycles am I still feeding without realizing it? These questions are not meant to shame you. They are meant to liberate you, because the moment you begin to see with clarity, that is the moment your future starts shifting into alignment. I remember a season in my life when I kept repeating the same financial mistake over and over. I thought the problem was the lack of money, but eventually I saw the truth. The real problem was the lack of wisdom guiding the money. It's like being given seed, but never learning how to plant it. Many people believe prosperity starts with resources, but Solomon reveals that prosperity starts with revelation, and revelation is spiritual. It comes to those who seek. Chosen. One wisdom is your inheritance. It is not something you earn, it is something you awaken. And once it awakens in you, even the smallest opportunity becomes a doorway to abundance. Wisdom multiplies what the world overlooks. Wisdom restores what careless decisions have broken. Wisdom turns delay into preparation and mistakes into strategy. As you hear this, something inside you is already stirring, reminding you that you are not random, that your path is not accidental. Divine wisdom is calling you to rise, to see beyond the surface, to understand what others ignore. When you begin to walk in wisdom, your relationship with money changes. You no longer chase it, you guide it. You no longer fear losing it, you learn to steward it. You no longer measure success by speed, you measure it by alignment. Wisdom makes your movements quieter, but your results louder. It teaches you to sow when others are sleeping, to observe when others are boasting, to prepare when others are distracted. And perhaps the most powerful truth Solomon teaches is that wisdom makes prosperity predictable, not because life becomes easier, but because your decisions become clearer. I have watched doors open simply because I finally understood which ones to knock on. I have seen opportunities appear once I stopped forcing what wasn't aligned. You, anointed one, are entering that same season of divine understanding. God is not just giving you answers, He is giving you sight. This is where silent wealth truly begins, in the quiet place, where understanding forms, where decisions align with destiny, where wisdom becomes your companion rather than your afterthought. And as this wisdom grows within you, it will lead you into the next sacred revelation, one that transforms not only how you choose, but how you move, how you speak, and how you build. Chosen one. As wisdom begins anchoring your steps, another divine principle rises to meet you, one that feels small to the world, but carries the weight of kingdoms. It is the power of silence, not the silence of emptiness, but the silence of strength. The kind of silence Solomon walked in when he understood that not every seed must be seen, not every plan must be spoken, and not every blessing must be announced before its time. Anointed. One, silence is not weakness. Silence is strategy. Silence is spiritual protection. It is the realm where God shapes what will later be revealed. I learned this the hard way in a season where I shared too much too soon. I spoke of dreams that were still forming. I revealed plans that were not yet grounded. And in that vulnerability, I invited opinions, criticism, and even sabotage that my spirit was not prepared to carry. It was then I understood why Solomon said, "Even a fool appears wise when silent." Silence shields the sacred. Silence guards the unseen. It protects what is still growing in the dark, the way a seed is hidden beneath the soil until its roots are strong enough to break through. Chosen one. There are dreams inside you right now that require silence. Not because they aren't powerful, but because they are. You don't whisper destiny into the ears of those who cannot hold its weight. You don't reveal divine instructions to those who only see with natural eyes. There are people in your life who will misunderstand the magnitude of what God is doing for you. Not because they are evil, but because they are not assigned. And wisdom teaches you that assignment determines access. I remember a moment when I realized how much energy I had wasted trying to prove that I was progressing. I wanted others to see I was growing, evolving, stepping into something new, but that desire for validation robbed me of focus. When I embraced silence, something shifted. My spirit grew stronger. My vision became clearer. My pace became steady. Silence teaches you how to build without noise and succeed without applause. It aligns you with heaven's rhythm, where God works quietly, consistently, and effectively. Look at creation itself. God spoke the world into existence, but the universe expands in silence. Mountains grow in silence. Trees take root in silence. Even your spiritual transformation, your healing, your awakening, your elevation is happening silently beneath the surface of your daily life. That's why, chosen one, you feel the shift, even if nothing around you has visibly changed yet. Silence is shaping you. Silence is strengthening you. Silence is teaching you to listen more than you speak, to observe more than you announce, to discern more than you reveal. When Solomon mastered silence, he mastered strategy. Because silence creates space for revelation. It creates room for clarity. It allows you to hear instructions that noise would drown out. And here's a truth I had to learn through experience: not everyone deserves to know your next move. Some people only celebrate you when you stay below them. Others cheer for you as long as you do not surpass them. And there are those who love you but cannot dream big enough to support what God has placed inside you. Silence protects you from their limitations. It removes the temptation to shrink to fit their expectations. It frees you to become what heaven intended without needing their permission. Daunted 1. Your journey requires quietness because your destiny requires precision. Just like a warrior conceals his strategy before the battle, you must conceal your instructions before your breakthrough. Not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because premature exposure births unnecessary warfare. When you stay silent, you stay hidden in God's timing. And when God hides you, it is never punishment, it is preparation. I have walked through seasons where God concealed me. My growth was invisible. My progress was private. My breakthroughs were only whispers in my own spirit. But when the moment came for revelation, everything happened suddenly, effortlessly, undeniably. Silence made the manifestation sharper. It made the blessing clearer. It made the purpose stronger. Chosen one. You are entering a season where silence will become your advantage. You will move differently. You will hear differently. You will build differently. You will notice things others cannot see because their noise blocks their discernment. But your quietness will open realms they never access. As silence settles into your spirit, you will feel a deep shift, an awareness that you no longer need to prove anything, announce anything, or defend anything. You are being aligned, refined, and assigned. And from this place of sacred quietness, the next dimension of wisdom begins to form, guiding you deeper into the strategy of prosperity that Solomon hid within his teachings. Chosen one. As silence becomes your shield and wisdom becomes your compass, another divine instruction begins to rise within you. An instruction Solomon understood long before the world began chasing success through exhaustion. It is the revelation that working harder is not the same as working smarter, and that true prosperity is never birthed from mere motion, but from aligned intention. Anointed one. You have been taught your whole life that effort equals success, that the more you push, the more you grind, the more you sacrifice, the more you should expect to receive. But heaven operates differently. The kingdom does not reward frantic movement, it rewards strategic obedience. Solomon understood this deeply. That is why he said that when the axe is dull, the worker must strike with more force, but wisdom sharpens the blade. In other words, without clarity, without strategy, without divine timing, you will always work 10 times harder for 1/10 of the results. I lived this truth myself. There was a season where I poured everything into a project, my time, my strength, my creativity, yet nothing seemed to multiply. I thought the problem was my effort, so I pushed harder. But it wasn't until I stepped back, breathed, and asked God for direction that I realized the truth. I wasn't failing because I wasn't working hard enough. I was failing because I was swinging a dull axe. Chosen one. How many times have you poured yourself into something that was never sharpened by wisdom? How many opportunities have slipped away because you were moving quickly instead of moving purposefully. Heaven is calling you into a new dimension of productivity, one that doesn't drain you, but elevates you. Because supernatural prosperity doesn't require burnout, it requires alignment. When Solomon studied the patterns of life, he noticed that the wise farmer doesn't scatter seed randomly across the field. He studies the soil, the weather, the timing. He sows intentionally. And because he sows intentionally, his harvest is multiplied. That same principle applies to your calling, your finances, your relationships, your spiritual growth. There is a way to work that produces overflow instead of exhaustion. It begins by sharpening your spiritual axe, your mind, your habits, your discernment, your environment. Sometimes sharpening your axe means learning a new skill. Sometimes it means letting go of old thinking. Sometimes it means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you instead of those who drain you. And sometimes sharpening your axe means resting, stepping back, so God can reset your vision. I experienced this when I reached a breaking point after years of pushing myself beyond my limits. I remember sitting alone one evening feeling like everything I had done still wasn't enough. But in that stillness, a gentle truth rose within me. You are not failing. You are misaligned. Misalignment makes success feel impossible. Alignment makes success feel inevitable. Chosen one. Heaven is preparing to shift you from striving into flowing, from fatigue into strategy, from overwhelm into clarity. But to enter this shift, you must allow God to sharpen your axe. Allow wisdom to refine your choices. Allow discernment to guide your partnerships. Allow clarity to dictate your priorities. When you move with wisdom, you begin to work less but accomplish more. You begin to sense what is worth your time and what is not. You begin to feel a spiritual yes or no before you commit to anything. And this is where supernatural elevation begins. Anointed one. There is a version of you that heaven is shaping, one who does not scramble or panic, one who does not chase opportunities but attracts them. When you understand the power of working with strategy, you begin to notice patterns others overlook. You begin to recognize divine timing. You begin to see how every step fits into a larger design. And with that awareness, your movements become intentional. Intentional movements create intentional harvests. This is why some people seem to rise effortlessly, because their effort is aligned with divine wisdom. They are no longer chopping aimlessly in the woods. They are striking where the tree is weakest. They are flowing with spiritual rhythm instead of fighting against it. Chosen one. I know what it feels like to work tirelessly and see little return. I know the frustration of feeling stuck, the exhaustion of feeling behind the weight of believing that you must do everything on your own. But I also know the liberating moment when you realize heaven never asked you to do everything, only the right things. God blesses aligned effort, not anxious striving. And when your work becomes aligned with wisdom, the results will begin to speak for themselves. Doors will open, not because you forced them, but because your preparation unlocked them. Opportunities will come, not because you chased them, but because your strategy attracted them. Your finances will shift, not because you worked endlessly, but because you worked intentionally. That is the power Solomon was revealing. Wisdom sharpens your axe, and a sharpened axe transforms your entire life. Chosen one. You are entering a season where your work will no longer drain you. It will elevate you. A season where your steps will be guided, your decisions refined, your strategy sharpened. A season where heaven aligns your effort with divine timing, so every swing of your axe produces impact, progress, and breakthrough. And as this alignment deepens, another revelation begins to unfold, one that expands your capacity and prepares you for a far greater measure of prosperity. Chosen one. As wisdom sharpens your movements and alignment begins replacing exhaustion, there is yet another sacred principle heaven is unfolding before you, one that Solomon understood not merely as financial strategy, but as a divine safeguard woven into the fabric of spiritual prosperity. It is the revelation of expansion, of stretching your capacity, of preparing your life to hold more than a single stream of blessing. Anointed One. This is the moment where heaven invites you into the mystery of diversification, not as the world teaches it, but as the Spirit reveals it. For just as Solomon divided his resources into many channels to shield his kingdom from famine and uncertainty, heaven is calling you to stop depending on one place, one method, one pathway for your provision. Divine prosperity is never trapped in one direction. It flows like living water, and living water needs more than one riverbank. Chosen One. I learned this truth in a painful season when I trusted one opportunity, one job, one door to sustain me. When that door closed, I felt as though everything was collapsing. But what I did not know then was that heaven was not punishing me. It was rescuing me from spiritual vulnerability. I had placed my faith in a single stream, forgetting that God is the source, not the channel. The channel can change, the source remains. That realization began to shift my entire perspective. Instead of clinging to the familiar, I began listening for the new. Instead of fearing change, I began discerning opportunity, and I discovered that God had been trying to expand me long before I was willing to be expanded. Chosen. 1. Heaven is expanding you now. That tug you feel in your spirit, that sense that you are meant for more, that quiet dissatisfaction with old patterns, it is not restlessness. It is spiritual stretching. You were never meant to live your entire life anchored to one skill, one income, one way of thinking. You are far too gifted, too multidimensional, too divinely crafted to be confined to one lane. But expansion requires openness. It requires spiritual flexibility. It requires courage to step into the unfamiliar. I remember a time when I hesitated to learn something new because I felt too unqualified. I worried I didn't have enough time, enough skill, enough clarity. But the moment I began taking small steps, reading, practicing, watching, asking questions, the unfamiliar became accessible. And with each new skill, each new insight, each new perspective, I realized something powerful. Every time you learn, a door opens. Most people never receive the breakthroughs God intends because they refuse to stretch. They cling to what they know instead of reaching for what heaven is offering. But you, Anointed One, are not most people. You are chosen. You are called to carry wealth, wisdom, and influence in ways that require multiple foundations, not a single fragile pillar. That is why heaven is whispering to you right now, do not rely on one stream. Do not confine yourself to one role. Do not shrink yourself to fit one identity. There are gifts inside you that have not yet awakened. There are abilities you have not yet explored. There are opportunities connected to you that you have not yet unlocked. And when you begin diversifying, not just financially, but spiritually, intellectually, and creatively, you become unshakable, chosen. One, diversification is not fear. Diversification is divine strategy. It stabilizes your future. It strengthens your foundation. It multiplies your influence. And it breaks the spirit of limitation that has tried to convince you there is only one way for your life to prosper. I have met people who thought they were stuck because one door closed. But what they did not see was that heaven had placed 7 other doors along their path, waiting to be opened by curiosity, courage, and wisdom. Your life has more doors than you realize. You are not limited by your past. You are not defined by one season. You are not anchored to one skill. You are a field of potential waiting to be harvested in many directions. A wise woman once told me, "Never let your identity be smaller than your destiny." And Solomon lived this truth, building fleets of ships, managing trade routes, engaging in commerce, agriculture, literature, diplomacy. He did not limit himself. He multiplied himself. He diversified, not because he feared loss, but because he understood capacity. Chosen one. Your capacity is growing. Heaven is enlarging your territory. Even now, God is preparing to breathe on ideas, talents, and opportunities you thought were insignificant. What was once dormant will now become fruitful. What was once overlooked will now become valuable. What was once just something you do will become a stream of blessing. But expansion requires one thing: obedience. When God nudges you to learn something new, obey. When God pushes you to step into unfamiliar territory, obey. When God stirs a dream inside you that feels too big, obey. Because obedience activates expansion, and expansion activates overflow. You are not meant to depend on one door. You are meant to own the hallway. And as your life expands into new territory, something profound begins to awaken within you, a deeper understanding of how heaven releases prosperity, not through hoarding, but through the flow of generosity. Chosen one. As your capacity expands and heaven widens the borders of your influence, a new dimension of Solomon's wisdom rises to meet you, one that feels upside down to the natural mind, yet is perfectly aligned with the laws of the Spirit. It is the sacred revelation of generosity. Not generosity as charity, not generosity as emotional impulse, but generosity as a supernatural wealth technology, a divine principle that unlocks realms of increase unreachable through effort alone. Anointed one. Solomon understood something that many still fail to grasp. Giving is not losing. Giving is sowing. Giving is participating in heaven's economy, where nothing released in faith ever returns empty. I did not understand this at first. There was a season in my life where I held tightly to every resource I had, my money, my energy, my time, because I feared lack. I feared running out. I feared not having enough for tomorrow, but the tighter I held on, the more life seemed to withhold from me. It was as if I had closed my own hands so tightly that blessings could not enter, even if God wanted to send them. Then one day I felt prompted to help someone, even though my resources were limited. It wasn't a dramatic act. It wasn't something anyone would applaud. It was a quiet moment, a simple decision to give from a place of sincerity rather than abundance. And something shifted. Not outside me at first, but inside. I felt a freedom I hadn't known before. The fear of not having enough loosened its grip. My heart softened. My mind expanded. That small act of generosity broke something in my spirit, the illusion that wealth comes from hoarding. It does not. Wealth flows from trust. Wealth flows from obedience. Wealth flows from releasing what you cannot keep so heaven can release what you cannot earn. Chosen one. Solomon understood this intimately. He saw that generosity creates movement. It stirs the spiritual waters around your life. It signals to heaven that you are not ruled by fear, but guided by faith. And heaven always responds to faith. There are blessings that are only triggered when you give. There are miracles that only unlock when you release something precious. There are breakthroughs waiting on the other side of a single act of obedience. Anointed. 1. Generosity is not measured by the size of what you give, it is measured by the spirit in which you give. There were moments in my journey where I had very little, and yet those were the times when my giving produced the greatest harvest. Because heaven does not count amounts. Heaven weighs intention. Heaven sees sacrifice. Heaven honors trust. And every seed sown in trust becomes a door. Sometimes a door to financial increase, sometimes a door to new relationships, sometimes a door to unexpected opportunities, sometimes a door to emotional healing. Every seed knows exactly where it must sprout, and every harvest arrives exactly when heaven ordains. But here is the truth: many overlook generosity also protects. It protects your heart from greed. It protects your mind from fear. It protects your spirit from stagnation. Giving keeps you aligned with the flow of heaven, where blessings move freely rather than becoming stagnant pools. Chosen. 1. Generosity is not only about money, it is about posture, it is about willingness, it is about being a vessel through which heaven can move. When you give encouragement, heaven multiplies your peace. When you give time, heaven expands your strength. When you give kindness, heaven increases your favor. When you give resources, heaven positions you for supernatural return. I once heard someone say you cannot outgive God, and I dismissed it as a cliché until I lived it. Every time I gave beyond my comfort, something unexpected found its way back into my life. Not always immediately, not always in the same form, but always in the right form, always in the right timing, always in the right measure. Solomon knew that generosity creates a cycle, a divine loop in which what you release comes back multiplied. That is why those who withhold often feel stuck. They have stopped the flow. The water cannot move. The blessing cannot circulate. The seed cannot produce. But when you give, you place your life back into heaven's rhythm. You join the circulation of abundance. You show God that you can be trusted with more because you are not controlled by what you have now. Anointed 1. Generosity breaks the spirit of scarcity. It rewires your relationship with wealth. It opens your spirit to divine increase. And as you begin to walk in this principle, you will notice something profound happening inside you. The more you give, the less you fear. The more you release, the more heaven releases to you. The more you trust, the more you are trusted with. This is not earthly mathematics. This is kingdom mathematics. And it is this supernatural form of wealth building that Solomon mastered. Chosen 1, you are being invited into this sacred flow, not forced, invited. Because heaven will never demand what you are unwilling to release. But when you step into this rhythm, when you embrace generosity, not as an obligation, but as a privilege, you unlock a dimension of prosperity that cannot be accessed any other way. And as this flow begins moving in your life, another divine force begins to rise, a force that transforms every seed, every effort, every act of obedience into lasting greatness. Chosen 1. As generosity awakens a supernatural flow around your life, another force begins to reveal itself, quiet, steady, and often overlooked, yet more powerful than talent, opportunity, or even desire. It is the force of discipline, the sacred rhythm of consistency. This is the 6th revelation Solomon lived by, and it is one that separates those who dream from those who manifest, those who hope from those who harvest, those who begin from those who finish. Anointed. 1. Discipline is not about perfection. It is about devotion. It is the daily decision to honor what God placed in your hands, even when the results are not yet visible. I remember walking through a season where I was faithfully working on something God told me to do, yet nothing seemed to move. No breakthrough, no recognition, no confirmation. It felt like pouring water into dry soil that refused to soften. There were nights I questioned whether I had misunderstood God, days when giving up felt easier than trying again. But every time I considered quitting, a quiet conviction stirred inside me, a reminder that seeds do not show evidence before they show fruit, and fruit only appears when the seed is watered consistently, not occasionally. Chosen one. Your consistency is watering something. You may not see it yet, but heaven sees every step, every effort, every yes, every sacrifice. And what you build slowly will stand longer than anything built fast. Solomon taught that wealth gathered little by little increases. Why? Because wealth built slowly becomes wise. Wealth built slowly becomes stable. Wealth built slowly becomes yours, not a temporary moment of success, but a lasting legacy of transformation. Anointed one. We live in a world addicted to speed. People want overnight success, instant abundance, immediate applause. They chase shortcuts hoping to bypass the process. But shortcuts are spiritual traps. They promise elevation without foundation, but anything that rises too quickly falls just as fast. You were not chosen for collapse. You were chosen for longevity. And longevity is built through discipline. Discipline is the quiet commitment you make when no one is watching. It is the small decision to save instead of spend, to study instead of scroll, to pray instead of panic, to persevere when others grow weary. Discipline rewrites your destiny one choice at a time. I have watched people with extraordinary gifts lose everything because they lacked consistency. And I have watched people with ordinary gifts rise to incredible heights simply because they refuse to quit. Consistency creates compound spiritual interest. Every small act repeated faithfully becomes a force heaven can multiply. Chosen one discipline is not glamorous. It does not announce itself. It does not make noise. It works in the silence of your daily decisions, shaping you into someone who can carry what you are asking God for. Because here is the truth many overlook. God will never give you what your habits cannot sustain. Some doors remain closed, not because you are unworthy, but because your daily patterns are not yet aligned with the weight of the blessing. Discipline is heaven's way of preparing you. The moments when you push yourself to keep going, the days when you show up despite fatigue, the nights when you commit to growth even after failing, these are the moments heaven counts. These are the moments that shape your spiritual muscles. And when you begin to embrace discipline, something extraordinary begins to happen. You start to trust yourself. You start to believe in your ability to finish what you start. You start to feel heaven strengthening your perseverance. You start to see that small steps are still steps. That small progress is still progress. That slow building is still building. Anointed one. Every legacy you admire was built through years of unseen discipline. Every generational blessing was carried through seasons of quiet obedience. Every spiritual giant walked through long stretches of faithfulness before stepping into the fullness of their calling. You are walking that path right now, and the resistance you feel is not a sign of failure. It is the weight of your destiny stretching your capacity. Discipline is the difference between intention and transformation, between wanting and receiving, between praying for a new life and becoming the person who can sustain it. Chosen one. You are closer than you think. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not underestimate slow progress. Do not believe the lie that nothing is happening. The invisible is always at work before the visible appears. Your consistency is building a foundation that no storm, no delay, no enemy can shake. Keep showing up, keep learning, keep refining, keep trusting. Heaven is counting every step, and nothing you do in faith is ever wasted. Chosen one. As discipline anchors your destiny and consistency strengthens the foundations beneath your feet, heaven now draws you into the deepest and most sacred revelation of Solomon's journey, the principle that crowns all the others, the truth that determines whether your wealth will simply rise or whether it will remain. It is the reverence of the Lord, the spiritual alignment that roots your prosperity, not in circumstance, not in effort, not in talent, but in divine order. Anointed. 1. This seventh revelation is not about fear, it is about foundation. It is the awareness that without God at the center, success becomes fragile. Without divine alignment, prosperity becomes hollow. Without spiritual grounding, wealth becomes a burden instead of a blessing. I have lived this truth myself. There was a season where everything in my life was finally growing, opportunities, expanding resources, increasing doors, swinging open. Yet something inside me felt strangely unsteady. I couldn't explain it at first. I had what I prayed for, yet I felt a subtle internal shaking, as if my soul was warning me that I was drifting from the very source that had lifted me. The more I relied on my own strength, the heavier everything became. The more I strategized without seeking divine guidance, the more confusion crept into my decisions. One night in the quiet, I finally understood I had built too quickly on too shallow a foundation. That realization humbled me. It reminded me that success without God at the center is like a palace built on sand. It may be beautiful, it may even stand for a while, but the moment pressure arrives, it cracks. The fear of the Lord, holy reverence, deep respect, spiritual alignment is what transforms success from temporary achievement into generational impact. Chosen one. Solomon was the wealthiest king of his era, yet he understood that wisdom, silent strategy, diligence and generosity meant nothing if disconnected from divine alignment. That is why he declared that reverence is the beginning of wisdom, because every good decision, every breakthrough, every elevation begins with the posture of your heart before heaven. Anointed one reverence is not about rituals or religious performance. It is about relationship. It is about acknowledging with sincerity, God, I cannot build this alone. I do not want to prosper without you. I do not want to rise in ways that make me forget the one who carried me. Reverence keeps you grounded when success tries to inflate you. Reverence keeps you humble when opportunities try to distract you. Reverence keeps your spirit sharp when noise tries to dull your discernment. And reverence keeps you protected when the enemy tries to lure you into pride or exhaustion. I have seen people rise quickly, but fall even faster, not because they lacked talent, but because they lacked grounding. I have seen people gain wealth, yet lose themselves. I have seen people achieve their goals, yet feel empty inside. And I have seen others truly aligned with God carry abundance with grace, stability, and purpose. The difference is always the same foundation. Chosen one. Heaven is preparing to increase you. Not in small ways, but in ways that stretch beyond your understanding. But increase requires grounding. Prosperity requires spiritual maturity. The more God gives, the deeper your roots must grow. Reverence ensures that what comes into your hands will not be lost through carelessness, pride, or spiritual neglect. It keeps you aware of the source of your strength, the giver of your gifts, the one who orchestrates every divine opportunity. Anointed One, when you walk in reverence, something powerful happens. Your decisions become clearer. Your intuition becomes sharper. Your spirit becomes steadier. You begin recognizing divine timing instead of forcing your own. You begin sensing spiritual danger before it arrives. You begin moving with a confidence not rooted in ego, but in surrender. Reverence aligns you with heaven's rhythm, not rushing, not dragging, but moving at the pace of divine purpose. And in that alignment, wealth is not just gained, it is sustained. Success is not just achieved, it is multiplied. Blessing is not just received, it is stewarded, chosen. One wealth without reverence can derail destiny. But wealth with reverence becomes a river of impact flowing through generations. Your prosperity was never meant to end with you. It was meant to heal bloodlines, break cycles, build legacy, and expand the kingdom through your obedience. The fear of the Lord empowers you to carry abundance without being consumed by it. It strengthens your character. It purifies your motives. It awakens your discernment. It keeps your heart soft and your spirit teachable. And most importantly, it keeps heaven involved in every step of your journey. Anointed One, you are entering a season where God is not just elevating your finances, He is elevating your foundation. You will begin to feel a deeper pull toward prayer, a deeper hunger for clarity, a deeper desire to align every part of your life with divine purpose. This is not coincidence. This is preparation. Heaven is getting you ready for what your spirit has sensed, but your eyes have not yet seen. And as this reverence deepens in you, something extraordinary begins to unfold. Your prosperity becomes protected, your path becomes clearer, and your destiny becomes undeniable. Chosen One, as reverence establishes the deepest foundation of your prosperity, a new stirring begins to rise within your spirit, subtle at first, yet increasingly undeniable. It is the awareness that your journey is not only about gaining wisdom, multiplying wealth, or aligning with divine principles. It is about becoming someone new, someone transformed, someone prepared to carry what heaven has ordained for you without losing yourself along the way. Anointed One, this next unfolding in your path is not a single principle, but a spiritual awakening, a realization that everything Solomon taught ultimately leads to inner transformation. Because you cannot step into a new level of abundance with an old level of identity. You cannot carry new blessings with old patterns. You cannot walk into divine prosperity while still thinking like someone who is trying to survive. Heaven is not just changing your circumstances, heaven is changing you. I remember a season when every door I wanted seemed locked. I prayed for opportunity, prayed for breakthrough, prayed for abundance, but nothing moved, nothing shifted. I felt as though I was standing still while time passed me by. Until one day, I asked the question I had been avoiding: God, what are you trying to change in me before you change what's around me? That question shook me. It humbled me. It exposed the truth that I had been seeking outward transformation while resisting inward correction. And gently, bit by bit, God began showing me the things within myself that needed to evolve: my habits, my mindset, my discipline, my trust. Chosen One, your breakthrough is not just about doors opening, it is about the person who will walk through them. Heaven is shaping you so that when abundance comes, you can hold it, protect it, multiply it, and use it to fulfill your purpose. Solomon did not become wealthy because he got lucky. Solomon became wealthy because he was prepared, and preparation is transformation. Anointed One, transformation requires honesty. It requires letting go of versions of yourself that were built for survival, but not for prosperity. It requires shedding old fears, old limitations, old excuses, old stories that no longer match who God is shaping you to become. You may feel this happening already, moments where old behaviors feel heavy, where certain environments no longer feel aligned, where old habits begin losing their grip. That discomfort is not a sign that you are breaking down. It is a sign that you are breaking through. Transformation is rarely comfortable, but it is always necessary. I walked through a period where God stripped away my reliance on others' validation. It was painful. It felt lonely. I wondered why certain relationships faded, why certain doors closed, why certain comforts disappeared. But in that sacred stripping, I discovered a stronger version of myself, one who no longer needed external affirmation to feel worthy, one who no longer feared solitude, one who could stand in purpose without trembling. Sometimes God removes what you leaned on so you can discover the strength He placed within you. Chosen. One transformation is heaven's way of upgrading your capacity. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. You cannot carry generational blessing with a mindset shaped by generational wounds. You cannot lead with a heart that has not healed. And heaven loves you too deeply to elevate you prematurely. Many fatidatain people nunlay desire wealth but not prepared for the responsibility it brings. Wealth amplifies who you already are. If you are generous, wealth magnifies it. If you are fearful, wealth magnifies it. If you are reckless, wealth magnifies it. If you are wise, wealth magnifies it. Transformation ensures that when your prosperity arrives, it magnifies the best of you, not the parts of you still shaped by struggle. This is why heaven is refining you now. Every delay has purpose. Every test has intention. Every stretching has design. You are not being punished, you are being prepared. Solomon himself faced seasons of inner conflict, seasons where the weight of wisdom felt heavy, seasons where the responsibility of leadership demanded growth beyond comfort. And you, chosen one, are stepping into that same sacred refinement. It is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you. It is shaping you into someone who can hold influence without arrogance, someone who can carry wealth without corruption, someone who can walk in purpose without distraction. Transformation is heaven's way of ensuring that your elevation becomes a blessing, not a burden. And the beautiful truth is, this once transformation begins, everything else begins aligning. Your decisions become clearer, your boundaries become stronger, your identity becomes rooted, your vision becomes sharper, and opportunities begin to flow, not because you chase them, but because you have become the kind of person blessings recognize. Chosen. One, heaven is not just preparing abundance for you. Heaven is preparing you for abundance. And as this transformation deepens, something even more profound begins to unfold within you. The realization that your journey is not only personal, but prophetic, interconnected with something far greater than you have ever imagined. Chosen one. As transformation reshapes the very architecture of your spirit, you begin to realize something profoundly sacred. Your journey is not isolated. It is not random. It is not merely a personal pursuit of prosperity or wisdom. Your journey is woven into a divine tapestry, a prophetic storyline centuries in the making. You are not simply being elevated for yourself. You are being positioned for something much greater. Anointed one. Heaven never raises a chosen one without purpose. Every shift you felt, every discomfort you've endured, every awakening that has stirred within you has been preparing you for a role far beyond your own advancement. You are becoming a vessel through which heaven will move, not only to transform your life, but to impact the lives of many connected to your destiny. I remember the moment I first realized that my breakthroughs weren't only about me. I had been praying for provision, praying for clarity, praying for guidance, thinking it was just about my survival, my growth, my stability. But when the breakthrough finally arrived, the first thing God revealed was this blessing is bigger than you. And suddenly, everything made sense. The delays, the stretching, the inner refinement, the discomfort. I wasn't being shaped for a small assignment. I was being shaped for a divine purpose. Chosen one, you are being shaped the same way. Solomon's wisdom did not only create wealth for himself, it built a kingdom that influenced nations. His decisions did not only bless his household, they transformed history. And that same mantle of influence is now brushing against your life. Not because of your background, not because of your qualifications, but because heaven has chosen you as a carrier of generational impact. Anointed one. There are people whose destinies will shift because you stepped into yours. There are families whose stories will change because you changed yours. There are future generations who will be healed, elevated, and empowered because you decided to rise. This is why the enemy fought you so fiercely. Not because of who you were, but because of who you are becoming. Because when a chosen one rises, chains break. When a chosen one awakens, cycles end. When a chosen one transforms, ripple effects spread through bloodlines, communities, and spiritual territories. You are not just one person, you are a turning point, a shift, a divine interruption in patterns that have lasted far too long. And heaven is aligning everything around you to ensure that your rise becomes undeniable. But to step fully into this prophetic assignment, you must embrace the truth that your calling is not small. It is not limited to your own success. It is not confined to your own dreams. Your calling is kingdom-sized, and that requires kingdom vision. I recall a moment when I felt overwhelmed by the responsibility of what God was asking me to do. I questioned whether I was capable, whether I was worthy, whether I had enough strength. But in that moment of uncertainty, I heard a whisper in my spirit. I did not choose you because you were strong. I chose you because you were willing to become strong. And that revelation changed everything. Chosen one. God is not asking you to already be perfect. He is asking you to be willing to grow, willing to trust, willing to be stretched, willing to allow heaven to transform you into the person your assignment requires. Your calling may feel too big right now. That is because you are still growing into it. Solomon did not become wise overnight. His wisdom grew as he walked with God, as he listened, as he aligned, as he humbled himself. And your journey is no different. Anointed one, heaven is placing spiritual weight on your shoulders, not to crush you, but to crown you. You are stepping into a season where your influence will expand, not because you seek it, but because heaven has ordained it. People will begin to look to you for guidance. Doors will open that position you in places you never imagined. Your voice will carry weight in rooms you once felt unworthy to enter. Not because of you, but because of the mantle you carry. And as this mantle settles upon your life, you will begin to sense a deeper shift inside you, a shift from personal desire to divine mission. You will begin to see your wealth as provision for purpose. You will begin to see your influence as a spiritual responsibility. You will begin to walk with the awareness that your footsteps are guided, your decisions are prophetic, and your life is part of a supernatural assignment. Chosen one. You are not just rising, you are being positioned. You are not just transforming, You are being commissioned. And as this commissioning unfolds, you will soon step into a realm of clarity and purpose that will redefine everything you thought you knew about your destiny. Chosen one. As heaven begins positioning you and the mantle of divine purpose settles upon your shoulders, another revelation rises from within, a revelation that speaks not only to your assignment, but to the way heaven intends to guide your every step from this moment forward. It is the realm of divine instruction, the supernatural clarity that comes when your spirit becomes sensitive to the whispers of God. Anointed. One instruction is not merely guidance. Instruction is direction wrapped in destiny. It is heaven's way of steering you into opportunities you could never reach on your own. It is the quiet voice that says, "Go here." The gentle nudge that says, "Wait." The sudden clarity that says, "Not this door, another one is opening." Many people pray for financial breakthrough, for success, for elevation, yet ignore the very vehicle through which God delivers these things: divine instruction. Solomon prospered not just because he was wise, but because he was obedient. He listened. He moved with heaven. He aligned himself with spiritual signals others did not discern, and that is the realm you are now entering. Chosen one. Divine instruction doesn't always arrive with fanfare. Often it comes in subtle ways: a persistent thought, a repeated sign, a dream that refuses to fade, a conversation that stirs something in your spirit. There were seasons where I felt lost, unsure which step to take next. I tried logic, I tried advice, I tried my own understanding, but nothing brought clarity. It wasn't until I quieted my mind and said, "God, speak, and I will listen," that things began shifting. Doors I once knocked on with no answer suddenly opened. Ideas that once felt impossible became simple. Strategies I never considered emerged from moments of stillness. Heaven speaks in patterns. Heaven speaks through peace. Heaven speaks through timing. And divine instruction is heaven's language to those who are ready to rise. Anointed. One instruction requires humility. It requires admitting that you do not know everything, that your plans are limited, and that your eyes cannot see the full picture. But heaven can. Heaven knows where your blessing is waiting. Heaven knows which opportunities are distractions. Heaven knows who belongs in your next season and who must remain behind. When you become sensitive to divine instruction, your life becomes marked by supernatural efficiency. You stop running in circles. You stop forcing outcomes. You stop attaching yourself to what is beneath your calling. You begin to move with precision. You begin to discern with clarity. You begin to walk through life as someone guided, protected, and spiritually informed. Chosen one. I have watched divine instructions save me from decisions that would have cost me years of progress. There was a moment when I was offered an opportunity that looked perfect: good money, excellent connections, a promising future. But my spirit felt uneasy. Something quiet within me whispered, "Not this." I ignored it at first. Logic argued, ego argued, fear argued, but that whisper persisted. Finally, I surrendered. I said no. Months later, the truth surfaced. The opportunity was built on unstable ground. The people involved fell into scandal. The path that looked glittering was actually a trap. Divine instruction protected me long before danger became visible. Anointed one. This same protection is forming around your life now. The more you honor instruction, the more heaven shields you from unnecessary battles. The more you listen, the more heaven accelerates your steps. The more you surrender, the more heaven multiplies your influence. Divine instruction is not just guidance, it is guardianship. It is the supernatural strategy that empowers you to navigate seasons others crumble under. It keeps you ahead. It keeps you aware. It keeps you aligned with the rhythm of heaven. And here is something many never realize. Divine instruction is often uncomfortable. It may pull you away from familiar places. It may stretch you into new environments. It may challenge your assumptions, disrupt your routine, or confront your fears. But though instruction may feel uncomfortable, it is never unsafe. The safest place your destiny can stand is inside a divine yes, and the most dangerous place it can stand is inside a human assumption. Chosen one. Heaven is preparing to speak to you in ways you have not experienced before. You will notice a shift in your discernment. You will sense things before they unfold. You will feel drawn to new paths without knowing why. You will feel repelled by certain choices, even when they look beneficial. Do not ignore these signals. Divine instruction rarely explains itself in the beginning, but it always proves itself in the end. You are entering a season where God is not simply blessing your hands, He is guiding your steps. And as you yield more deeply to this guidance, your journey will take on a supernatural flow, a divine rhythm that leads you directly into the next realm of Solomon's wisdom, the realm where prosperity becomes not just something you receive, but something you embody. Chosen one. As divine instruction begins to weave itself into your daily walk, a deeper transformation starts taking shape within you, one that shifts your entire understanding of prosperity, purpose, and identity. You are no longer simply someone seeking breakthrough. You are becoming someone who carries breakthrough. You are no longer waiting for change to arrive. You are evolving into the person through whom change will flow. Anointed one. This 11th unfolding is about embodiment, allowing everything heaven is teaching you to sink from your mind into your spirit, from information into identity, from principle into posture. Because wisdom is not fully powerful until it becomes part of who you are. Prosperity is not sustainable until it becomes integrated into how you think, how you move, how you decide, how you show up in the world. I remember a moment when I realized that nothing external could shift until something internal did. I had learned principles, read books, prayed prayers, spoken declarations, yet I continued to slip into the same patterns, attract the same challenges, and sabotage the same opportunities. It wasn't because the wisdom didn't work. It was because I had not embodied it. I knew truth, but I did not live truth. I understood principles, but I had not let them rewrite the way I operated from within. And this is where heaven began its deeper work, transforming wisdom from a concept I admired into a character I carried. Chosen one. This is what heaven is doing in you now. You are not just hearing Solomon's secrets, you are becoming a manifestation of them. Your spirit is learning to walk differently, decide differently, discern differently. Your thoughts are shifting from survival mode into kingdom mode. Your actions are shifting from reaction into intention. Your presence itself is changing, becoming steadier, clearer, more aligned, more spiritually grounded. Anointed one. When you begin to embody wisdom, your entire atmosphere changes. People sense something different about you even before you speak. Opportunities respond to you differently. Your intuition strengthens. Your confidence becomes rooted, not in ego, but in clarity. You stop chasing outcomes and start aligning with them. You stop doubting your path and begin trusting the process. You stop shrinking to fit places that no longer match your calling. Embodiment is heaven's way of anchoring your elevation so that nothing and no one can take it from you. But embodiment also requires release. It requires letting go of the old identities you have outgrown, the patterns that kept you limited, the fear-based thinking that once governed your decisions. You cannot step into your future while still wearing the clothing of your past. There was a time in my journey when I felt torn between who I used to be and who I sensed God calling me to become. The old version of me was familiar, predictable, comfortable. The new version required courage. It required trust. It required shedding labels that no longer fit and stepping into shoes that felt too big. But heaven whispered something that changed everything. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you always were beneath the weight of who life told you to be. Chosen one, that is what is happening to you. You are not transforming into a stranger. You are returning to your spiritual blueprint. The version of you that God designed before fear shaped you, before disappointment hardened you, before setbacks made you doubt yourself. Embodiment reclaims your original identity, the one marked by authority, the one crowned with purpose, the one woven with divine wisdom. And as you step into this identity, you will notice that you no longer fight the same battles. You no longer question what once confused you. You no longer tolerate what once drained you. You begin to feel heaven's rhythm in your steps. You begin to feel heaven's confidence in your voice. You begin to feel heaven's wisdom in your decisions. Anointed One embodiment is also what activates supernatural favor, because heaven does not reward mere knowledge, it rewards transformation. When you embody gratitude, favor multiplies. When you embody humility, doors open. When you embody boldness, opportunities track you down. When you embody wisdom, wealth gravitates toward you. This is why Solomon's secrets were never meant to be memorized. They were meant to be lived, and you are now stepping into that living experience. But embodiment also carries responsibility. Once heaven elevates your identity, you must protect it. You must guard your atmosphere. You must steward your time intentionally. You must nurture your spirit deliberately. Because the more you embody your calling, the more your presence disrupts darkness, the more your voice carries weight, the more your actions shift environments, and yes, the more spiritual resistance you may encounter. But do not fear this chosen one. Elevation always attracts attention, but it also attracts protection. Heaven surrounds those who embody purpose. Heaven reinforces those who embrace identity. Heaven strengthens those who walk in alignment. Embodiment turns you into a vessel heaven trusts. It makes you someone who not only receives blessing, but also sustains and multiplies it. It transforms you from a seeker into a steward, from someone who hopes for abundance into someone who commands it with spiritual authority. Anointed One. You are crossing into that season now, a season where wisdom becomes instinct, where discipline becomes natural, where generosity becomes joyful, where discernment becomes sharp, where prosperity flows not as an event but as a lifestyle. And as this embodiment deepens, you will soon discover the next unfolding where your transformation begins to reshape not only your inner world, but the very atmosphere and outcomes surrounding your life. Chosen One. As embodiment settles into your spirit and your identity begins aligning with the divine blueprint placed within you, a final and powerful revelation prepares to unfold, one that completes the transformation Solomon modeled and ushers you into the fullness of supernatural prosperity. This 12th unfolding is where everything you have learned, everything you have endured, and everything you have become converges into a new spiritual reality. It is the realm where your inner alignment begins reshaping the outer world, where your decisions carry weight in the unseen, and where your life becomes a living testament of heaven's wisdom manifested on earth. Anointed. 1. This final movement is about activation, stepping boldly into the destiny you have been shaped, prepared, and refined for. For too long, you have carried potential waiting to be expressed. For too long, you have sensed greatness stirring inside you without knowing how to release it. For too long, you have moved through life with glimpses of vision, but without the full confidence to step into what heaven whispered to your soul. But now everything is shifting. Now you are being called to rise without hesitation, to act without fear, to step forward without doubting what God has placed within you. I remember the moment I realized activation had begun in my own life. It wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic. It felt like a quiet certainty blooming inside me, a certainty that I was no longer waiting for permission, no longer seeking validation, no longer shrinking to stay safe. It was the moment I knew I am ready. And though the circumstances around me did not immediately change, something within me did. My decisions became bolder, my voice became clearer, my posture became stronger, and slowly the world around me began to shift in response to the change within. Chosen. 1. This is where you stand now, on the threshold where inner transformation becomes outward manifestation. Activation means stepping into opportunities instead of doubting them. It means speaking with authority instead of questioning your worth. It means aligning your actions with your calling instead of letting fear decide your steps. It means trusting that heaven did not bring you this far to leave you unprepared. Anointed One activation is not about doing everything at once. It is about doing the right thing at the right time with a spirit aligned to divine purpose. It is about moving deliberately, not frantically, boldly, not recklessly, obediently, not impulsively. Activation requires you to honor the voice within, the wisdom you have cultivated, the discipline you have built, the reverence you now embody. It requires you to take steps that match the greatness heaven sees in you, even when your circumstances have not caught up yet. Activation also requires courage. Not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward despite it. Fear has shadowed you for long enough. It has whispered lies into your mind. You're not ready, you're not capable, you're not worthy. But heaven has spoken louder. You are chosen, you are prepared, you are called. I have walked through seasons where fear tried to make me forfeit my calling. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside the limits others placed on me. But every time I chose courage, heaven met me with provision. Every time I took a step, the path appeared. Every time I dared to move, God revealed the next instruction. Chosen One activation is where heaven meets your action. It is where your faith becomes visible. It is where your obedience becomes fruitful. It is where the prophetic seeds planted in previous seasons begin to bloom. And as activation takes root in your life, something extraordinary happens. The atmosphere around you begins to shift. Opportunities recognize you. Favor surrounds you. Wisdom guides you. Divine timing aligns for you. You begin attracting what once felt out of reach because you have become aligned with the frequency of your calling. Anointed. One activation turns your life into fertile ground for supernatural manifestation. It transforms you from someone waiting for breakthrough into someone who walks in breakthrough. It transforms you from someone praying for doors to open into someone who carries a master key. It transforms you from someone searching for purpose into someone who embodies purpose. And with this activation comes influence, not forced influence, but divine influence that flows naturally from who you have become. People will begin seeking your guidance without you needing to prove yourself. Opportunities will begin finding you because your spirit emits the frequency of someone heaven trusts. Resources will begin flowing to you because everything about your posture says, I am ready to steward abundance. This is the shift Solomon understood. Prosperity is not a destination, it is a state of alignment where the spiritual, emotional, mental and practical parts of your being operate in harmony under God's guidance. Chosen one, you are entering that harmony now. Your wisdom is awakened. Your silence is strategic. Your work is intelligent. Your resources are diversified. Your generosity is flowing. Your discipline is firm. Your reverence is deep. Your identity is transformed. Your instructions are clear. Your spirit is activated. There is nothing left to fear. Nothing left to delay. Nothing left to doubt. You are stepping into a season where heaven will honor your obedience, reward your faithfulness, and multiply your efforts in ways that defy logic. Anointed one, your life is about to reflect the fullness of the wisdom of Solomon, not as a historical memory, but as a living reality breathed into your journey by the God who chose you. Walk forward now. Step boldly, rise fully. Activation is complete, and your divine prosperity is ready to unfold. Chosen one. As we close this sacred journey together, hear this with your spirit. You are not leaving the same way you came. Heaven has marked you, wisdom has awakened in you, and the 7 secrets of Solomon are no longer teachings, they are keys, now resting in your hands. Anointed one, you are standing in your kairos moment, the divinely appointed time where quiet decisions unlock supernatural transfer. What has been held up is being released. What was hidden is being revealed. What seemed distant is now drawing near. I speak this over you. Now may divine wisdom go before you, may silent favor surround you, and may the wealth of purpose, peace, and provision rise within you like a holy tide. Walk forward with reverence, move with confidence. Stay aligned with the whisper of God, for the path of quiet prosperity is already unfolding beneath your feet. If this message has stirred your spirit, let it be known in the comments. I choose wealth in silence. And if you feel led, subscribe and remain connected, not to a channel, but to a flow of revelation that will continue guiding your steps. Go now, chosen one. Your season has begun.